Zimbabwe and the Botswana Business Forum has been organized as a side event of these meetings in line with our previous directive. This will undoubtedly also aid the readiness and ability of our private sectors to effectively participate in the African Continental Free Trade Area. The unrestricted movement of our citizens, as well as goods and services, is an essential cog to stronger economic cooperation. In this spirit, the establishment of the one-stop border post should be expedited. Actually, my brother is ahead of this. Do you permit me to say what you said? My brother thinks that it is time that people should cross into Zimbabwe or Zimbabwe into Botswana by a mere identity, without formalities. I put the idea. The development of cross-border infrastructure projects to increase our economic efficiencies and competitiveness must be pursued with greater vigor and confidence. The proposed railway line between Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique, known as the Ponta Tekopanin Inter-Regional Heavy Haul Railway Project, is highly anticipated for greater rail connectivity in the region. Investment and cooperation, particularly by our private sectors, must be encouraged in the renewable energy space. More so given the ongoing drive for the modernization and industrialization of our economies. In Zimbabwe, the power supply has significantly improved following the commissioning of Hwange Power Station Unit 7 and 8, as well as increased investment in green energy. We look forward to strong synergies in the energy sector between our two countries. Ladies and gentlemen, the climate crisis is upon us and resulting in the prevalence of climate-related natural disasters and adverse weather phenomenon. We must act proactively and in unity to build and strengthen our climate resilience and adaptation measures. Consensus around the common African position on climate change at the recent COP28 is welcome. However, our countries endure the heavy burden of the negative impact of climate change. We therefore cannot afford to sit back and wait for the generosity of the global north with regards to climate finance. Innovative financing mechanisms, including by private sector investments, remain key to our climate mitigation and adaptation strategies. We must foster pride into our people that they must stand up for themselves. In terms of managing our common border, the robust cooperation between our security sectors in managing cross-border crime is commendable. Zimbabwe is in the process of establishing a border management authority towards increasing the safety and the efficiencies along our common border. In the regional, continental, and international context, I commend you, my dear brother, Your Excellency, and the government of Botswana for your commitment and contribution to the promotion of peace and stability. In fact, in our region, Botswana has always been a beacon of peace in our region. Yes, my dear brother, in our region we still have the specific challenge we have in Cabo Delgado province in Mozambique. We need to support our dear brother, President Nyusi, to deal with the problem in Cabo Delgado. I'm happy that Botswana has stood up to the challenge and is participating in the creation of peace in Cabo Delgado. Zimbabwe will be honored to have you and other colleagues in Harare later this year during the fourth ordinary summit of the SADC heads of state and government. Finally, Your Excellency, we are aware that Botswana will be going to elections later this year. Zimbabwe is confident that your electoral processes will go a long way towards the consolidation of constitutionalism and democracy in our region.
Truly delighted to welcome you here to this very same room on this important occasion marking the fourth session of the Botswana-Zimbabwe Binational Commission. My dear brother, President Mnangagwa, let me particularly once again extend a warm welcome to you and your delegation to our tourism capital, Mau, for the second time since we elevated our bilateral cooperation framework to a binational cooperation. I am pleased that you found it fitting to honor my invitation to this fourth session of our Binational Commission, which we could have convened in June 2023, but were unable to do so primarily because Zimbabwe was preparing for her harmonized general elections. Mr. President, there is no doubt that the deliberate move to host our BNC meetings in Mau and in Victoria Falls, respectively, goes a long way towards advancing our cooperation, especially in the tourism sector. In this regard, I look forward to the upgrading of our town of Mau, now town, used to be village, to become a city. As was the case with Victoria Falls in December 2020. Yes, we follow you. It's my hope that you'll find the facilities available for this meeting suitable for an invigorating and successful BNC session. I note with great satisfaction, my dear brother, that our two countries continue to enjoy very cordial and fraternal relations, anchored on a strong historical background, a common culture, and close familial ties that precede the formalization of our bilateral relations in 1983, 3 years following your country's independence. I said formalization, meaning that they had always been there. Just for the record, the media. Moreover, our membership to the Southern Africa Development Community, SADC, embraced us in a regional formation which, from its founding as frontline states in the heat of the liberation struggle, holds the best prospects of our continued economic growth and development. Stability, our peace, and security as nation states that are strategically land-linked. The significance of these connections is exemplified by our unwavering commitment to our cooperation on bilateral, regional, and multilateral platforms, and our desire to uplift the livelihoods of our citizens through, amongst others, improved economic growth, job creation, and poverty eradication. Furthermore, the confluence of our national values and interests as sovereign states with equality of standing is in our concerted call and desire for a more equitable global economic system for sustainable prosperity that gives true expression to the purpose and principles of the United Nations Charter. Mr. President, the BNC as a framework of cooperation serves the central purpose it was created for, that of widening and deepening the scope of our bilateral and regional and multilateral relations. The BNC affords us the chance to take stock of progress towards the implementation of agreed commitments from previous meetings, as well as to explore new potential areas of cooperation between our sisterly countries. In this regard, I note with appreciation the wide range of issues that we discussed and agreed upon during our rather elongated tete-a-tete. We were at work for you